And I hustle. So that's me.
You hustle.
Yeah, you gotta hustle. You know that.
Exactly. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And it never stops. When the rappers say the hustle never stops, it really does not ever stop.
No.
And rightly so, because it keeps you on your toes, right? I mean, like, we are in a business where youth is everything.
Right.
And age is kind of shunned a little bit. So we have to hustle just to be able to be, as they say, remain relevant, right?
Right, or also it's important to be the best at what you do. So you can always work. That's important that a lot of young comics realize. If you have a niche or something, well, be the best at that.
Right.
And then you can make a living off that, and then the rest you can be an artist.
That's correct.
You know,
I learned that.
So, you know,
Yes.
that's what's important, because you got to have this is show business. You got to have that business part where you got to have an income. Because if you have a family, you got to feed them. Because you got these people sitting across the table like, hey, man.
Exactly. What's really going on?
You ain't that funny. We eating his beans.
Exactly.
They want some meat.
Exactly. Man, that is so true. So, Lewis, man, in Black Hollywood circles over the decades, if you will, you were known as the King of the Warmups.
Yes.
Now, what's that all about?
Well, a warm up, to explain what it is the woman or male who stands in front of a studio audience for a live taping of a multi-camera show. And your job is to warm the audience up and keep them on story. And it started, in the beginning, Ray Combs was a benchmark. He was the guy that was on Family Feud. He was known for warm up. David Letterman did warm up. You know, mostly every comic back in those days went through the warm up.
Ray Combs did do warm up.
You know, and what happened was, because the audience was mainly older white people who came to taping the television shows. We black people didn't know about it.
Exactly.
You know, minorities.
Exactly.
But then when the Cosby Show came and A Different World, the demographics changed. And it was young black people in the audience.
That's right.
And it was hard for people like Ray Combs and them old white men to relate to them.
Although Ray was cool.
Yeah, Ray was cool. Because he was good.
Yeah.
But the other guys who were under him and it just. The optics didn't look good.
That's right.
You got a old white man in front of a black audience, and it's a black show behind him.
That's right.
What? We gotta have a black. So what happened was A Different World hired Don Reed.
Yeah.
The Bay Area. Don was the first one to do the warm up.
The Prince of Warm Up, Don
Right.
Reed.
He's the king.
Oh, he's the real king.
I'm under Don. Don got me my first job. Don was doing A Different World, and Cosby saw him. Dr. Cosby saw Don, and then hired Don to be an actor on The Cosby Show. So Don had to go to New York. And I got a call. And the way I got a call was because at the time when we were at the Comedy Act Theater, that's when I started doing clean comedy. And Thad Mumford, who's an icon, rest in power. He was an executive producer on A Different World. And he saw me and came up and said, you should think about doing warm-up, because you don't curse and you're funny, you good energy. I was like, all right, what's a warm-up? And he gave me his business card and he said, go call me when you find out what it is. And I had an acting gig on Amen. And Ray Combs was doing the warm-up. And I was standing there on the set, and the guy, one of the crew people said, I was like, he said, that's Ray Combs, that's a warm-up, he's the best. And I looked and I was like, all right, if he's the best, I can do that. I can do that. All right, cool. So then I called the Thad and said, yeah, I watched an old warm-up. So then Don left and I got a call to do warm-up for A Different World. And back then we did, like now they have DJs.
Right, exactly.
Back then in '89, there was no DJ.
No DJ.
No music, it was just you. And we did 2 shows. We did a 4 o'clock show and a 7:30 show.
I think Will Smith brought the DJ thing in on Fresh Prince.
Maybe.
Yeah. I used to manage D.O. Hughley, and he was the warm-up.
Right, yeah, and I took over for him.